People got the Messiah, the Master coming back as this guy who's going to love everybody and rapture everybody off to heaven. That's not true. That's not the teaching of the Bible. The Bible says, that he does judge and make work.
All praises to the Father and His Son, the creator of the universe. Yeah, the giver of the laws and commandments, crucified for the sins of the whole earth. But y'all don't pay him no mind, y'all don't pay him no homage. I ain't tripping on him, y'all don't love him. Y'all too busy worshiping other guys, Christmas, Easter, Valentine. Yeah, y'all love sin. And these taxes ain't no help, they done closed up the doors to the kingdom. Matthew 23 and 13, tell me y'all some hypocrites. Y'all ain't even getting in the kingdom, and that's real. I've been walking with the word, trying to get to know the word. Another word, I've been reading script. I have come to find out it's a different story when you understand the manuscript. It is false doctrines, all lies. Is it? Like going to heaven when we die. What else? Like eating catfish and pork rinds. That's abomination in the Lord's eyes. You gotta unlearn and relearn everything that you did learn about the Most High God of these scriptures, and you better do it before He return. Cause He ain't coming back to shake hands. Nah, kissing and hugging. No, He coming back to set the record straight. Come on, He coming back to pass judgment. Yeah, cause He ain't coming back to shake hands. He ain't kissing and hugging. No, He coming back to clear the controversy. He coming back to pass judgment. 7 trumpets, 7 vows. Right after Jacob see his trouble, it's coming. He said the whole world gon' bow. Whether you hate him or you love him, it's coming. Got a war, you ain't keeping His commandments, you gon' perish when He come back with His army and the sword. All judgment has been handed down to Him from the Father, and the title has been given Lord of all lords. You've been worshiping in vain though, cause you don't really know Him like you claim so. At the day of judgment, He gon' tell you He don't know you either. And to the lake of fires, where you gon' go? All you heathens and you Edomites. Yeah, Babylon gon' die that night. Talk a takeover, full overthrow. The man of sin, he gon' burn slow. What you know about blood up to the horse's bridle? He gon' call all the fowls of the air to come feast on the dead bodies, laying every word. You can read it, you been sinning, you ain't gon' be spared. I've been reading, you should get prepared. Yeah, I've been reading, baby, you should be scared. If you thinking the Messiah is a white boy with blue eyes and blonde hair, that's deception at its highest. He gon' judge you with the highest when you kick against the laws and the commandments. That's the covenant, I'm standing on it. 10 toes down, and no use in playing on it. You gotta unlearn and relearn everything that you did learn about the Most High God of these scriptures, and you better do it before He return. Cause He ain't.
All right, shalom, family. How's it doing? How's it going? All right, I'm gonna try to be brief. I may not get to all of y'all's comments, but just listen to the message. All right, I just wanted to show them the Most High's name. People at work be wondering what this is, who this is, but nevertheless, now the content I make, if it makes you real angry where you're gonna sin, you shouldn't watch it. You said, well, why put it out? Because our people perish for the lack of knowledge. These people they have been doing this for centuries, locking up our children. So we have to know the tactics of the enemy, but we have to use this information wisely and divert around their snares and holes and traps they have for us. Okay. Now, if my content, if you get in where you can't think clearly with a sound mind, according to the Most High, according to the Word, then you shouldn't watch it. The Bible says, "Be angry and sin not." Now, I'm not saying there's not a time to protect ourselves. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if it's gonna make you go out here and live contrary to the Word, the Most High believes in self-defense. Okay, why did He have us get an army to protect our nation? Why did Mashiach tell Peter to go get swords? I'm just saying, don't go out here. We behind enemy lines. We're in the land of our enemies. Don't go out here and be a lone wolf. Okay, all right. Let me get into this. I want to show y'all some things. It's probably gonna open your eyes. But remember, Scripture said, "Be angry and sin not." All right, now let me share the screen. Okay, let me see. Which way do I go? All right. Look here. Convict leasing. This is the beginning of your prison system right here. Notice these are our children. These are boys. These ain't grown men. Think about it now. These ain't grown men. These are boys. They are robbing. They're just like leeches, brother Stephen Lesson last night. These people are leeches. They got our kids out here working for their future, working for the oppressor's future, not their own future. Do you understand? All right, now look. I seriously doubt this. I seriously doubt that our children was orphans. I seriously doubt that. So if they orphan, they give them the right to enslave them. See, you have to scrutinize every line, every sentence that these heathens put out here. Black orphan children, that is a lie. If they was orphan, then who's responsible? The slave master when they separated from their family? Okay, then shouldn't they be responsible for reuniting the families that they separated? Huh? Okay. Black orphan children and juvenile defenders could be bought. Okay, who's getting the money? It ain't going to them. This is the foundation of this prison system that we got today. All right, for white planters, this ain't nothing but slavery. You're still buying and selling. Okay. In many southern states from 1865 to 1940s, that's reparations right there. This alone is reparations. These folks can't pay what they owe. Read the book of Joel. What will you give me for my people? All right, right now. Okay, I'm not gonna read all this because I got videos at the end, but I got to close some of these tabs so the video play properly. All right. After the Civil War, slavery persisted in the form of convict leasing, a system in which southern states enslaved black children to private railroad. I thought the Asians built the railroad. Just because they put some Asian people, and I'm not saying that they didn't help or they didn't build certain parts. Just because they put some Asian people up there in a picture and tell you that they built the railroad doesn't mean that it's so. We know this country has a history of covering up the true history as they fight to make laws to make teaching the true history illegal. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to sit here and relay the truth to you. All right, now, railroad working in mines and large plantation, while states profited, okay, reparations. They got money off the backs of our children, and they didn't compensate them. All right. Okay. Prisoners earn no pay and face inhumane, dangerous, and often deadly work conditions. All right. And look, let me see. Is it a video down here? Is it a video? No, ain't no video on this one. I think it's a video on one of them. But nevertheless, I just want to show y'all that you type this in and read this yourself. Equal justice, you can type this in. Equal justice initiative, space, and then type in convict leasing. Okay? Let me close this. Okay, this is another one. This is it. Slavery by another name. This is kind of coinciding with what I just read you. Let this video play.
Convict leasing in the South in this period becomes a new way of racial control among white Southerners attempting to limit African-American economic independence and freedom in general. And what that means is that state officials would sell the labor of an African-American prisoner to a private contractor. The terms of that agreement usually involved a period of time, say 10 days for a very minor sentence, to up to a year. And in exchange for getting the labor of the prisoner and taking full custody of the prisoner by the private contractor, the state would receive revenue. What that meant in terms of what convict leasing involved was that African Americans would work in any industry, whether working for a private farmer, whether it was in a brick making factory, a coal mine, any number of business concerns, and the business owner would have absolute dominion over the Black person for the period of time of the lease. But one,
okay, you hear the corporations. I'm gonna show you how that plays into today's time. It's the same thing. They just camouflaged it a little bit. Okay, as the Most High showed me what's going on, I'm gonna show you what's going on. But you internalize the information and act wisely and accordingly. Comprende? All right.
over the Black person for the period of time of the lease.
Let me play it back. I
But
want you
once
to hear that.
And the business owner, any number of business concerns, and the business.
Look how they got them brothers up in there like chickens. A chicken coop. Look. Got them up in there like chickens. All right. Yeah, I'm angry. What I supposed to be happy? I supposed to act like I don't see this? I supposed to act like I don't know what they doing? Remember, wisely and accordingly. Be angry and sin not.
Owner would have absolute dominion over the Black person for the period of time of the lease. But once you were in the system, you could spend the rest of your life there. And that was a direct consequence.
Rest of your life enslaved. And you wonder why you getting Black men exonerated, seem like every month now, for 30 and 40 years in prison for crimes that they didn't commit. And in some cases, the DA and the police hid evidence that would exonerate them. Okay.
Of the reality of being a convict lease and having to fight literally to survive day by day in incredibly brutal conditions.
All right, let me move on. Y'all can see what this is. Y'all should watch that and learn something. All right. Not saying that you're not gonna learn something. Okay, I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna close some of these tabs. Okay, you got a school to prison pipeline. I just showed you earlier that they was targeting the children. Okay, those are children in that thumbnail. Matter of fact, let me see if I still got it up here. These are children right here. This is a prison. You can't see the floor, but that floor is made out of money. But you can see who's getting the money from the prisons for profit. Okay. All right. Let me see. Put this back down. Okay. And here's another something you could read. You could research school to prison pipeline. I'm not gonna read this. I'm not gonna read this. Let me see here. Notice the same thing. Foster care to prison. Notice when the first article I showed you, orphan children. Okay. All right. See, that's another way. A lot of times they take children out of Black homes for minuscule minor things that they do not do equally when it comes to white children in white homes. Okay. Somebody, the prisons is on the stock market. Somebody got to be in prisons in order for them to get money. Somebody got to be in there. And they're not really trying to lock up their children. All you got to do is look at the Capitol insurrections on January 6th and see how these light sentences that they're giving the people that tried to cause a coup, try to overthrow the government. All right? I just want to see that. Look, expel. How many times have you seen Black children expelled for little or nothing? How many times have you seen children, Black children, under 10 years old in handcuffs? How many times have you seen that? If you ain't seen it, hit that email address and I can show you some stuff. All right. Suspended, same thing. But it's a good thing now. The Most High seems like he done. We teaching, a lot of us are starting to teach our children at home. Okay, this juvenile justice system, start getting them a record. Then you're taking away the voting rights. You take away your voting rights. And that we shouldn't vote for coons. We shouldn't vote for nothing. Okay? But you need your gun rights. All right. Young people learn foster care will be leaving foster care will be incarcerated. They know this thing is they know there's a school to prison pipeline. But there's nothing in place to navigate the children from the prison. So that's what we come in at, and that's why I'm doing what I do. All right. Let me close this out. Okay, this is basically the same thing. Classrooms, not courtroom. You just do your research on school to prison pipeline, all right? Just because you see these articles, they don't show you solutions. All right, let me move on. Here's another one. This is Ebony, school to prison, and this is owned by white people. Think about that one. You got a so-called Black magazine owned by white people. And look what they got over here. Bill Cosby. Now, I'm against rape, but there was no evidence of him raping anyone. And a lot of these women, I'm just showing you what I learned. Had criminal record and they was junkies, but they covered that up. But look, a black magazine attacking a black man. Okay, what Weinstein that over here? But anyway, you got to scrutinize everything. All right. Okay, now, private prison stocks surge after Donald Trump victory. So when Trump got in office, don't let this deter you. If he get back in office, it's still going to go on as continued. Don't vote one way because you scared of, what is you afraid of? Especially if you worshiping the Most High. What are you afraid of? The Most High has not given us a spirit of fear. He could strike them down, give them a heart attack. If the Most High is allowing these wicked rulers to live, keep your eyes open and look in that word, and he's going to show you why. All right. Private prison. But they tell us the reason for locking people up is to rehabilitate. Let me see. That's why they call it the Department of Corrections. Let me see. Let me see here. But they're not rehabilitating anything. How you know they're not rehabilitating? Because they're making more money keeping people in prison. All right. They're making more money keeping people locked up. You're not gonna shoot yourself in the foot by taking away your own revenue. Let me see. Oh yeah, even your 401k is tied to prison stock. So even they got everybody. Let me see. Yeah, your 401k. Look, your 401k is tied into. I'm not gonna play this video because I didn't research it enough. But your 401k is tied into the doggone prison, our people being oppressed in prison. Okay, two of these companies, I'm just reading some of it. CXW and CEO Group GEO, that's a private owned prison, I think this is too, are publicly traded. That's on the stock market. So many may hold them in an index fund or ETF as part of their portfolio or retirement account, like a 401k or IRA, without even knowing it. Okay? So they got us, when we sign up for 401k, participating unwittingly in our own demise. I'm gonna just save my own money. That's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna save. I'm gonna save my own. I am not telling you what to do because I'm not looking at your finances. But as for me in this house, we're gonna save our own money. I don't want no blood money. People going to prison falsely dying in there. I don't want that kind of money. All right, now. Private prisons spending millions on lobbying to put more people in jail. Let me translate that to you in layman's terms. You have these are private prisons. They are sending people to Congress. They are sending people to Washington, giving them money to make laws to lock people up for a longer period of time for nonviolent crime. This should be illegal. Can you imagine a drug dealer off the street going to paying Congress, paying members of the government to make laws so he could transport his drugs and kill people? This is no different. It ain't no different. If your government can be bought, then it's no longer your government. Y'all got it? All right. Let me see here. All right. All right. Yesterday, the Justice Policy released a report chronicling the political. I'm just here to show you the truth. What you do with the information is up to you. Just because you don't know about what's going on doesn't mean it's not happening. All right. Now, working to make money through harsh policies and longer sentences. Why? If sending people to prison was actually working and benefiting the people in the country, there would be less prisons instead of building more. See, when McDonald's is profiting good, they build another McDonald's. When Taco Bell is making money and profiting good, they build another Taco Bell. When Walmart is making money hand over fist, they build another Walmart. And when prisons, the private prisons, is making trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars off the backs of our children, they build more prisons. All right? Now look at here. This is just one private prison. Well, there's two of them. CCA and GO Group made over $2.9 billion in revenue. So you think they won't donate a few billion to go and make some laws to keep these people in prison? Mostly our people. Huh? Y'all see what it says. If you want to read this article, type this in. You can pause it. And this is the article. And type that in. I did a Google search. Private prison lobby politicians. See what I'm saying? Let me see here. I ain't going to go through that. Let me try to make this video short. All right, let me close this out. All right, now we're gonna get to the rap music. Let me see here. Let me see here. You got, let me see, can I find? I know I pulled it up here. You got record music labels invested in the private prisons. You say, how does that work? You promote crime to the black folks. You promote, well, not necessarily black folks. You promote crime. It's just like advertising. Okay. When you want to sell cheeseburgers, you put commercials on the television for cheeseburgers. When you want to sell cars, you put cars on the commercial for cars. When you want to sell your private prisons, you put all kind of law-breaking music everywhere in the magazines, in the music. You see, even, on halftime, the NFL Super Bowl, you promote this stuff. That's advertisement, and the children, a lot of times are in single homes. No one to debrief them of what's going on. Go out here and think that's how you're supposed to live because they look up to the entertainers, the rappers, and stuff. So the rappers, why does everybody look at the rapper? Why does everybody look at Snoop Dogg? Why does everybody look at NWA and don't look at Jerry Heller, Iveen, what's his name? Why don't they look up the owners of the music? Look, they look at Lil Wayne and don't look at the owners who own it all. Huh? Okay. But yeah, you got music labels in bed with the private prison industry. Look, and some of these prisons got a minimum 90% occupancy rate for decades. We said, what happens if the prison population fall behind 90%? Then the private prison can sue because their beds are empty. Let me see here. Look. Let me see here. How you just gonna go out here and gaffle up brothers and sisters? And then you wonder what's up, and you wonder why you got white Mzungus making billions of dollars off of weed, and you got black men in prison for 20, 30 years for weed. They don't want to get sued, and they don't care about us. They don't care about us. But yeah, y'all read that yourself. Y'all read that yourself. Y'all read that. So if the population of the prison, depending on the contract, if the population of the prison, depending on the contract, falls below, let me close this, fall below 90%. I got a contract right here. I'm not going to read it. But all you got to do is click that link right here. You go right here. You can type this in. Facts about hip hop and prisons for profit. I think that's Rap Rehab. All right. And you type that, you press that link, and it's going to take you to this article. It's a contract. Okay. And some of them, they got to be 100% full. All right. Look, a minimum rated occupancy of 1,000 beds. So if they fall they fall down to 900, that means they're in breach of contract and they can be sued to get their money. Look, assurance by the agency partner that the agency has sufficient inmate population to maintain a minimum of 90% occupancy rate over the term of the contract. Okay, time getting close. I got to speed this along. All right. That's another one to show you the contracts and the minimum rate, that there have to be a minimum number of people in those prison beds. All right, y'all can type it in: American Liberty, University Business Law Review, private prison contracts and minimum occupancy clauses. Pause it, take a screenshot. If you want to read that, type it in. Type all that in and look. Let me see. Yeah, I went over that. Let me speed this along. And this is the same thing. They changed the music to promote breaking the law to fill their beds in prison. This is what these heathens have done. Let me close these tabs so these videos will play more efficiently. All right, let me play this video for y'all.
A real boom of job offers for inmates in the country. Both state and some of the biggest private companies are now enjoying the fruits of a cheap and readily available workforce, with tens of millions of dollars spent by private prisons to keep their jails full. RT's Gaina Chichikan takes up the story.
In the U.S., the market for cheap labor is booming behind bars. In the last 15 years, partnership between prisons and private manufacturers has increased significantly. They're becoming America's very own Chinese-style manufacturing line behind prison walls. Prisons, in fact, advertise themselves as such, as an alternative to outsourcing cheap labor to China or elsewhere. On the web, we came across this pitch that prisons prepared to persuade private sector companies to come and do business with them. Take a look.
There's not enough folks that will do this type of work in this country. So therefore, we're bringing back this industry that has historically.
Let me stop there. It ain't the fault. It ain't the fact that people don't want to do their work. They're not paying them. You can't pay your bills on these low-paying jobs. You can't pay your bills on these low-paying jobs. That's what it is. That's why they can't do that. You need that slave. They want that slave labor. Talking about people don't want to do their job. No, you don't want to pay them.
Folks that will
think about it like this: the gas going up, the food going up, the cost of living going up, but the pay ain't going nowhere, and they expect somebody to do some slave labor.
Do this type of work in this country. So therefore, we're bringing back this industry that historically has been going out of this country, and we're putting it, inside the walls, and it's absolutely a perfect idea.
I just noticed something. She's the founder, so yes, she's gonna say that. She's selling her business. She is the founder. She's selling her business. What you want her to say? What you want her to say? Let me wind it back so you get her name.
Has been going out of this country, and we're putting it, inside the walls, and it's absolutely a perfect idea. I have a workforce that does not have car problems or babysitting problems, etc. They're always here and they're always willing to come to work.
Let me get y'all that name, this woman's name.
country.
Look.
So therefore, we're
She's the founder of Inside Out. So yeah, she's gonna say people don't want to do this work. This is her business. But them incarcerating and coming up off the back of our people is our business. All right?
bringing back this industry that historically has been going out of this country, and we're putting it, inside the walls, and it's absolutely a perfect idea. I have a workforce that does not have car problems or babysitting problems, etc. They're always here and they're always willing to come to work.
Bring your business to our labor.
A wide variety of industries take advantage of prison labor. Among many other things, prisoners make clothing, textiles, electronics, furniture, and even...
And another thing, if the inmates are doing this work behind prisons, then you don't have a job. Why you got homeless people and act like everybody homeless don't want to work? How you got a high unemployment rate, but you got jobs behind the prison walls? These are some high-paying jobs right here, like manufacturing. Some of these prisons these prisons are doing government work, like missile defense behind the prison wall. But when they get out, they can't get them jobs. Why is it that they can do those jobs behind prison, working for missile defense, working for the Air Force, working for the government? Well, if they was on the street, they would be making a grip of money. Think about it. But when they get out, they can't get a job. They can't even get government assistance. They can't even get a house to live in. You push them back out there on the street so they'll break the law and come back on the plantation.
solar panels.
Just as we're trying to get China to stop with their prison labor, ours is at the same time increasing.
Hundreds of companies have used prison labor directly or through subcontractors, including Microsoft, Boeing, Starbucks, Victoria's Secret, and others.
They qualify for federal tax breaks. They can get recompensated up to 40% of the wages that they pay to these inmates. We as taxpayers, we have to house, feed, and provide medical care and everything for all of these inmates. We do this as taxpayers. It comes out of the tax pools. And that keeps the actual prison.
Hey, you hear this Mayo explaining? You hear this Mayo explaining? They taking care. No, y'all ain't taking care of them. Y'all taking our money. That the government took billions of dollars out of taxpayers' pockets, our pockets, to help start these private prisons. But he white explaining because he's getting money off of it, of the exploitation of our people in convict labor. He Mayo explaining, talking about, just listen.
We're putting it, inside the walls, and it's absolutely a perfect idea. I have a workforce that does not have car problems or babysitting problems.
Advantage of prison labor, among many other furniture and even solar panels.
With their prison labor, ours is at the same time increasing.
Hundreds of companies have used prison labor.
Y'all didn't catch that. They're trying to get China to stop their cheap labor, but they starting the same thing. Just listen. They doing the same thing while at the same time telling China they need to stop their cheap labor. Look, ain't no difference.
I'm increasing.
Hold on.
Hundreds of companies have used prison labor direct.
With their prison labor, ours is at the same time increasing.
Come on.
Hundreds of companies have used solar panels.
Just as we're trying to get China to stop with their prison labor, ours is at the same time increasing.
Hundreds of companies have used prison labor directly or through subcontractors, including Microsoft, Boeing, Starbucks, Victoria's Secret, and others.
They qualify for federal tax breaks. They can get recompensated up to 40% of the wages that they pay to these inmates. We as taxpayers, we have to house, feed, and provide medical care and everything for all of these.
Now, why is the taxpayer got to house and feed and take care of the inmates when the inmates is working for these corporations? Let them corporations pay for that then. Think about it. Why is we got to pay for them to eating and living in prison when they working for the corporations? Why can't the corporations pay for them housing and eating and living in prison? I'm talking, the Mayo explaining is unreal.
These inmates.
Play it back one more time.
40% of the wages that they pay for federal tax breaks. They can get recompensated up to 40% of the wages that they pay to these inmates. we as taxpayers, we have to house, feed, and provide medical care and everything for all of these inmates. We do this as taxpayers. It comes out of the tax pools. And that keeps the actual prison workforce healthy and in shape to go out and perform these jobs for these private companies.
Hard-working and reliable, inmates show up for work every day voluntarily.
Work in prison is mandatory, and the choice many inmates have is whether to work for a government-run prison industry for less than $1 an hour or a private one for a minimum wage of around $6. Unicor is a government-owned corporation that uses prison labor to produce all kinds of goods, mainly for other government agencies. 175 different types of products and services. You see the variety listed on their website. They too partner up with private firms now. Last year, Unicor's revenue reached $900 million. As far as private prisons are concerned, two of the country's biggest prison corporations made $3.3 billion last year alone.
Private prisons are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. They are for-profit companies, and the savings that they reap from using inmate labor go to their bottom line. It's money they otherwise don't have to spend in order to keep a facility run.
Large prison populations and harsh sentences result in greater profits. America's three major private prison companies spend around $45 million over the past 10 years on lobbying state and federal governments for supporting immigrant detention, mandatory minimum sentences, three strikes laws, and other legislative measures that contribute to the growth of America's gigantic prison population. The U.S. now holds more people behind bars than any other nation, more than 2 million. That's 1/4 of all prisoners in the world. From a cost-effectiveness point of view, the $45 million that private prisons have reportedly spent over the past decade lobbying to keep prisons full is peanuts compared to the billions that they make every year. One can argue...
Okay, that's enough. Y'all get the gist of it. Let me speed this along. I got one more video for y'all, I think. Now look at this man. Louisiana Sheriff argues against releasing prisoners you can work, drawing slavery comparison. He mad because they're passing laws to let out some of the prisoners who got families, who are fathers, who got to live their own lives, who need to be working for their own selves to survive in this economy. But this slave master here, he see a problem.
Well, the parish jails in Louisiana, the state, in order to save money, rather than holding prisoners, way 100 years ago, the parish, that's not actual, but a lot of years ago, the parish sheriff started holding prisoners, and they were willing to take a lesser amount than the state was charged for, was having to pay. We have, since I've been the sheriff of Caddo Parish, I don't run a place out there. I don't want state prisoners, okay? They are a necessary evil to keep the doors open, that we keep a few or keep some.
So keeping people for unjust sentences is a necessary evil. According to the Most High, what evil is necessary? Okay, if it's a necessary evil, then why ain't they mass incarcerating the opioid addicts? Why is they barely giving Mzungu people, white people, any time to spend in prison that tried to overthrow their own government? Why ain't they giving them time? If it's a necessary evil and everybody is so-called supposed to be the same and treated equally, then why ain't they doing that for everybody?
Started holding prisoners, and they were willing to take a lesser amount than the state was charged for, was having to pay. We have, since I've been the sheriff of Caddo Parish, I don't run a place out there. I don't want state prisoners, okay? They are a necessary evil to keep the doors open, that we keep a few or keep some out there. And that's the ones that you can work. That's the ones that can pick up trash, the work release programs. But guess what? Those are
Don't they call black folks lazy? Don't they call us lazy? Why can't they wash their own cars? A lot of these police drive these cars home. Why can't they clean their own cars up that they driving home on that taxpayers paid for? Why they can't wash their own cars? Okay, why can't you hire people in the community or some homeless people in the community to clean up the kitchens in the jailhouses to get them off the streets? Why can't you do that? All right.
The ones that they're releasing. In addition to the bad ones, and I call these bad, in addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change oil in our cars, to cook in the kitchens, to do all that where we save money. Well, they're going to let them out. The ones that we use in our work release program, they're going to let.
Okay. You see that? They don't want people out. They want people working for free, for nothing, to take care of them. That's what they want. Let me see here. Yeah. All right. Okay. That's it. That's pretty much it. That's all I got for y'all right there today, family. It's been real. That's all I got for y'all. I'm finna get ready to go to work. Y'all protect our children. Make them change their tactics. Make them change their tactics. Not doing anything. They get to keep running the table. They keep locking our people up, stealing our children's future. That's what they are doing. They are robbing our children of their wealth. If you in there making them money, you're not allowed to make your own family money. You're not allowed to build up land, get a house, and pass it down to your children. And then by them being able to do that, they target the next generation. I got some Bible verses for them. He who leads into captivity. Matter of fact, let me see. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. Let me find it right quick. Revelation. Let me see here. Let me show it to him. Let me see here. Let me see. Revelation. Let me share my screen, family. Let me share my screen. It's another one in Jeremiah. We're gonna be taking captive the one that took us that took us captive. All right, let me maximize this. Revelation, what is it? Revelation 13:10. All right. Let me see. He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. Y'all see it? He who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Y'all see that? Holy ones. All right, let me find this other Bible verse right quick. I think it's in Jeremiah. Let me see. Let me find it right quick. Y'all bear with me. Isaiah 14:2. Isaiah 14:2. Let me find it. Let me see. Book. Isaiah 14:2. Here, yes, Yahoo. 14:2. Let me click on this one. And the people who, the nation of Israel, shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Yasharel, that's Israel. Let me show it to you. Israel, okay, shall possess them in the land of Yahuwah. All right. For servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captive they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. This hadn't happened yet. If it happened, then tell me, when did the nation of Israel, as it is currently today, take their captives into captivity? If it happened, when did the people in Israel today, when were they oppressed? When were they scattered all over the earth? I got one more for you. Luke 21:24. And after that, I'm going to have to go. All right, here we go. Let me see. Let me see here. Where you at? All right, Luke 21:24. 21:24. All right. Right after we sold Mashiach to be slave and crucified. Well, this was before. This is Mashiach talking. He was giving a prophecy about our people. And I'm going to say we. And it said, and they shall fall. And we fell by the edge of the sword. Everywhere we went, we being slaughtered. And even to this day, Okay, and shall be led captive into all nations. Find another group of people that went into captivity in all the nations of the earth. Find another group of people. You ain't going to find them because it's us. You had the Islamic slave trade carrying us east, the Muslims and the Arabs carrying us to the east, and you got the Atlantic slave trade carrying us to the west. All right, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the other nations until the times of the nations be fulfilled. All right? All right. Let me see here how to get. I had to show y'all that right quick. I had to show y'all that. All right, I'm gone. Shalom, family. Hey, I'm waiting on this judgment to take place. And I'm getting myself together. I'm purifying my soul. Because judgment is here and I'm waiting on it.
A lot of people got the Messiah, the Master coming back as this guy who's going to love everybody and rapture everybody off to heaven. That's not true. That's not the teaching of the Bible. The Bible says, that he does judge and make work.
All praises to the Father and His Son, the creator of the universe. Yeah, the giver of the laws and commandments, crucified for the sins of the whole earth. But y'all don't pay him no mind, y'all don't pay him no homage, I ain't tripping on him, y'all don't love him. Y'all too busy worshiping other guys, Christmas, Easter, Valentine, yeah, y'all love sin. And these taxes ain't no help, they done closed up the doors to the kingdom. Matthew 23 and 13, tell me y'all some hypocrites, y'all ain't even getting in the kingdom. And that's real, I've been walking with the word, trying to get to know the word. Another word, I've been reading script. I have come to find out it's a different story when you understand the manuscript. It is false doctrines, all lies. Is it? Like going to heaven when we die. What else? Like eating catfish and pork rinds. That's abomination in the Lord's eyes. You gotta unlearn and relearn everything that you did learn about the Most High God of these scriptures, and you better do it before He return. Cause He ain't coming back to shake hands. Nah, kissing and hugging. No, He coming back to set the record straight. Come on, He coming back to pass judgment. Yeah, cause He ain't coming back to shake hands. He ain't kissing and hugging. No, He coming back to clear the controversy. He coming back to pass judgment. 7 trumpets, 7 vows. Right after Jacob see his trouble, it's coming. He said the whole world gon' bow. Whether you hate him or you love him, it's coming. Got a war, you ain't keeping His commandments, you gon' perish when He come back with His army and the sword. Judgment has been handed down to Him from the Father, and the title has been given Lord of all lords. You've been worshiping in vain though, cause you don't really know Him like you claim so. At the day of judgment, He gon' tell you He don't know you either. And to the lake of fires, where you gon' go? All you heathens and you Edomites. Yeah, Babylon gon' die that night. Talk a takeover, full overthrow. The man of sin, he gon' burn slow. What you know about blood up to the horse's bridle? He gon' call all the fowls of the earth to come feast on the dead bodies laying everywhere. You can read it, you been sinning, you ain't gon' be spared. I've been reading, you should get prepared. Yeah, I've been reading, baby, you should be scared. If you thinking the Messiah is a white boy with blue eyes and blonde hair, that's deception at its highest. He gon' judge you with the highest when you kick against the laws and the commandments. That's the covenant, I'm standing on it. 10 toes down, and no use in playing on it. You gotta unlearn and relearn everything that you did learn about the Most High God of these scriptures, and you better do it before He return. Cause He ain't coming back to shake hands. Nah, kissing and hugging. No, He coming back to set the record straight.
All right, He coming back to pass judgment. Shalom.